got that nerd rage. Nerd rage. I got that nerd rage. Nerd rage.
Welcome back, gentlemen and ladies, to it's the end of the month, so you know what that means. It's time to start herding nerds. This is Nerdherders, my favorite podcast I've ever done with my fellow Nerdherders. My name is Craig Legans. I am just one of the many people that help put this podcast on for you fellow nerds, and I'm joined by my favorite married nerd couple that isn't Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. Please welcome back to Nerdherders, Veronica Vargas and her better half, Damien Vargas. Welcome back, gentlemen and lady. The man who makes it all go. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain because he's out busting ghosts. Who are you going to call? Dan Calachico.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Your favorite show, huh? Making notes, Craig.
That I've ever done at a podcast. It's even my favorite comic book show I've ever done.
Oh, don't tell.
Oh, yes.
If Steve ever hears that, he's going to tune in 1 week. You know he's going to tune in the week you say that and go, what the
I kid, because the only reason I'm qualified to even talk about nerd stuff because I host another podcast called Comic Book Gurus that is unfortunately on hiatus due to a deadly plague that's going across the universe, but I digress. We're here to talk about fun stuff. And Damien, before we went on the air, this is during rehearsal, we found out that there was breaking news. I didn't break anything, so hit it.
All right, so we actually have some breaking news because nerd culture involves everything, and sometimes we cross over to the world of pro wrestling. Breaking news comes out of the very opening of NXT. Now, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee's match had been cut short because he had worked like a quarter or three-quarters of the match with a separated shoulder.
Yes. They
were slated to open the show, and the curse came true of a new champion opening the show. Due to his separated shoulder, Karrion Kross has relinquished the title after just going over for it this past Saturday night against Keith Lee.
You know, any other incarnations of Disturbed Dreams on WWE TV just have no luck.
Yes. So Karrion Kross is now the Finn Balor of NXT.
Unfortunately, yes. So, yeah, that just came out. Apparently there's going to be like some sort of four-way or whatever. But the bigger news, of course, is unfortunately he fell cursed to the same thing as that happened to Finn Balor, separating his shoulder after a monstrous undefeated push, and now unfortunately has to relinquish the title.
That sucks big time. Karrion Kross has such a great look and great body. Everything he's already WWE ready, and and like you said, Damien, the undefeated push, just rotten, horrible luck. I don't know if you guys saw the match at Takeover.
I did.
You kind of saw it when it happened, or at least the bulging disc in his shoulder is kind of a giveaway.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, for the collarbone, yeah.
It's like, ooh.
And Damon, you
right there.
because you've been in the ring, you kind of saw it before everyone else. It's like I was like, oh, that looks. They can probably buff that right out, but yeah. I'm sure you were like, nah, it's gonna be a while.
No. That don't go there. That's not where that goes.
It shouldn't bend that
so,
way.
Yeah, it's that unfortunate situation because, like I said, there's like you said, he's the full package. They've said if Adam Cole had his size, forget about it. Like, because this guy's got everything. It's just the same. I really do feel really bad for the guy. And the guy was apparently really upset. Triple H was upset for him. He's like, he literally told Triple H, he's like, this is the biggest moment and match of my entire career. Everything I've done, nothing is bigger than this moment than to have this happen. And apparently, I guess he wanted to fight through it, but the injury is that bad that it's just not going to be able to happen to even kind of protect him, so to speak, until he's ready. But I guess it'll be a much longer duration than expected. So unfortunately, our breaking news is some unfortunate news to start out with.
I got all excited and stuff. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, that is bad news for Mr. Kross. But this whole Nerdherders thing it fell right in our laps because as bad news as that is, we have to relinquish the NXT championship. This week was DC FanDome. So we transitioned from bad news to nothing but good news because we got a simply orgasmic amount of comic content, movies, TV, all that in the DC FanDome that happened earlier this week. We're going to cover as much as you want, but what did you guys see?
Jump into that. Well, usually the way we do is we throw a couple little tidbits out to you, just kind of like your little appetizers before your main topic. So this is kind of like our roundtable discussions, opinions, and everything like that as well.
Yeah, like a good drug, like a good drug pusher. You give us a taste first, and then we get thirsty for more. And so, yes.
You start with the pot, and you make your way up all the way up to the heroin.
You got it, Veronica. That's the exact analogy I was going for. Thank you. You get me.
I am the worst. I'm sorry. You know what? It could have been a lot worse because what I was going to say earlier was how, since we're on, this is our once a month show. I mean, I was going to say, I'm going to say it anyway. We're like Dan's period.
We are. We are the bloody spots in his underwear. That's exactly what we are.
I love you so much.
That's not why my underwear is bloody.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Let yourself go.
Well, everybody is now tuning out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Socks came into the room right as that was happening. He's like, I'm out.
So he was like Grandpa Simpson at the hospital, the brothel. Just walks in, take his hat off, take it back on, and go. Damien, what do you got for us?
On to our next little tidbit before we get into the big stuff. I saved this one because I wanted to get Miss Foxy's reaction to it because she kind of had smatterings of it, but I got a little more information. It was confirmed about a day or two ago that Powerpuff Girls was getting a live television show treatment on the CW.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and further information on it, it's not, them as the little girls or anything like that. What it actually is it's following them as young adults who now resent they've lost their childhood due to crime fighting.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how they're going to pull off a live action version of Powerpuff Girls. And
then as young adults,
it's gonna basically be Riverdale. If it's going on to the CW, it's gonna be essentially Riverdale / Buffy / Charms, catering to that audience, which I understand
and still making them older.
I was that young adult watching Buffy,
Mm-hmm.
but
but
I don't like that at all. I don't like the sound of that at all.
Well, we still have to see it, so they could change your mind, and it'd be interesting to see how they pull it off. So that's one.
A lot of teen angst though.
But are we going to get the transvestite devil?
Oh, probably.
If it's on CW, yes, because that's a very LGBTQ heavy network, so they're all about inclusiveness. So I would not. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Mojo Jojo. Bring on the Mojo Jojo.
And are we going to get the woman that you only ever see her legs?
Well,
I hope so.
I have expectations. I purposely had my parents get Cartoon Network in this house when they moved in here, so I could purposely watch Powerpuff Girls, even though I was already like 19 years old.
Wow.
Okay.
I have expectations.
Okay.
All right, so that will be the wait and see. Go ahead, Dan.
I just want to say, somebody who lived through the reboot of a famous franchise. It's 2020, and I'm not naming names. Y'all need to stop with the no. There's no need. I don't want this. Why? Why does it need to happen? And just let it happen. You're not discrediting that you need to see some tangible proof, Foxy, to be like, I need to see this before I decide it's good. That's okay. I understand that. But everybody's reaction is to say no. First of all, too bad. It's happening. Not broke, don't fix it. All right, Danny, I'm going to mention you. Not broke, don't fix. The show still exists. You can watch it whenever you want.
Exactly.
It doesn't break the original show. That everybody was like when Ghostbusters came out, it ruined my childhood. It's right there.
Right there. Yeah.
Right there. Childhood's not going anywhere. Shut up. I hate that. I hate that. I hate
My
the
only
immediate...
feeling when it comes, my only feelings when it comes to things of this is, okay, we said it before, I write. I'm a creator. I'm a writer. So when I do hear things, my initial reaction is anger because of the lack of flat-out original ideas as opposed to taking the skeleton of something that already was. That's my only angst against it. Will I see a trailer and further determine how I feel? Absolutely, like everybody should in the world. It's just a matter of
the original content.
Give me something a little new.
When I say, oh, Danny, shove your thank you up your ass. When I see when I hear that, I'm not saying you're wrong, Foxy. Shut up. I'm not saying also your husband will beat me up. Well, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it anyway. But whenever I see that, I look at Hollywood and I see when people say I want original ideas, and then I see what makes money. That's what people are going to do. There's very few original ideas where people are like, we're going to go see this in droves now. Very little. There's a few. Knives Out is the last one I can think of, which took a completely basic concept and turned it on its ear, and it was original, and everybody's like, this is really good.
Or you take an original idea and people give it a shot, and they hate it. Like, that's the example. Sharknado. How original was Sharknado?
Very.
Everybody hated it.
And then now we're up to like 4 or 5.
And people still hate it.
Deep Blue Sea 3 came out too, so.
Yeah, but you see celebrities fighting to be a part of Sharknado.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
Right?
They're like, dude, I'll be in it for free. They were like, I want to die by the sharks. Just put it in.
I'm vehement. I can't even say the word. I'm absolutely against no, I don't want to see it. Well, I'm happy for you. I really am. I can't be. The other day, but just to throw this into the remakes, and then I'll shut up because you guys are the stars here. I found out that Morgan Creek is redoing The Exorcist.
I heard.
The fucking Exorcist.
Okay.
And even part of me was like, why? But I was like, no, I can't. I'm gonna sit back, see what happens, and I'm gonna wait because that would be very hypocritical of me. That TV show I started watching that continued the story was really good, and they got 2 seasons out of it. So I'm just gonna sit back. I'm not gonna say a word. Go ahead, say the words.
The only reason why this is going on is, okay.
Yeah. I have a very, very bad phobia with that movie.
Oh.
She can't hear. She can't hear record from the thing. She can't see the picture. Anything.
I like.
You're okay.
You're okay. But like
Should I stop posting pictures of Peter Gabriel from the 70s because that's what they stole?
No, it's bad. It's like really bad.
Our honeymoon weekend.
Yeah, our honeymoon weekend, we went to Chiller Theater, and she was there. I couldn't enter the room. I ran screaming out of stores because like the movie poster is there, and like I see it, and I flip out. I can't do it.
Yep.
Can't do it.
Well,
that's how I actually found out while we were dating. We were in like one of those T-shirt shops in the village, and it happened to be a T-shirt way up, and I didn't. And she. What? I'm like, where are you going? She went right out the door. I said, oh shit.
And I've tried to face that fear. I have. And it's just made it worse.
There's 2 movies that we cannot talk about in this house. And I'm not going to elaborate because I'll get something thrown at me. Poltergeist and E.T.
Got it. So it's a Steven Spielberg thing. Got it. Foxy, if I could Freaky Friday with you, I would take away your fear of that movie and give you my complete apathy towards that film. I've gotten into an argument with my executive producer, Steve Morrison, about that film. I still believe it's the most overrated movie I've ever seen in my life.
You're about to argue with me too, son.
Yeah. So to your point, Dan, about it not being necessary, it's going to happen whether we like it or not, or don't like it.
Exactly what you said. Yep.
By the way, Craig, the first person I texted when I found that out was him. It's like, did you see this? He goes, oh, you're kidding me.
The one thing I actually can say in defense of that movie, of all things, is that even if they're going to go ahead and they're going to redo it, and that's absolutely fine, but nothing will touch that original. And the makeup and the effects and the fear that it instilled in people, and both that good fear of, oh my God, I want to see it again, and that fear that has been instilled in me. I was forced to watch it as a 4-year-old from my Catholic grandmother who said that would happen to me if I sinned.
Yeah, well,
So-
I saw the when they re-released it in theaters and they added the
Me
7
too.
minutes with the spider walk because I had already seen it twice. I'd seen it, it's showing my age here. I saw it when it premiered on network television. It was a network TV event, The Exorcist. Saw it then. I saw it when I was old enough to rent my own videotapes, and I saw it then. And then I saw it in the theater because I still wasn't getting it. I still don't understand. I still didn't understand what was the big deal about this film.
Steve and I are going to talk behind your back so much tomorrow.
I'll talk, and you can talk in front of. You can talk in front of my back. I will tell you the exact same thing. But I mean, I've given this movie so many opportunities because it's so revered and it's so classic, incredibly well made. The score, everything. But it didn't get me.
Without naming names, the third one's very good. I agree with Steve in that.
That one is. I was able to watch the third one. Third one is very good.
I saw the second one in the theater.
Oh, well, that's your fault.
Yeah.
The second one was.
Can
the
I tell you?
third one was really.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm a masochist. I basically told myself, I'm like, I'm scared of it. I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Oh, the third one, like Steve mentioned, Craig, if you haven't seen the third one, I'm assuming you've seen it.
No.
Oh, I'm not going to puff it up and say you have to see it. If you ever get a chance, go ahead and give it a view. It's very well made, and it's got one of the best jump cuts. It's not even a jump cut. It's not like a kinetic jump, Michael Bay jump scare. It is a one-shot jump scare at the end of the scene. And every time you see it, you don't know you don't know when it's coming. It's absolutely terrifying. Here's my side note about that movie we can't mention.
What?
I'm bitter towards William Friedkin because he's the one that started the breakup of the band Genesis.
Oh.
And it's during the filming of this movie. That son of a bitch saw that Peter Gabriel wrote a little story idea at the back of the Genesis live album in '73 and goes, I want to work with that guy. They have a meeting, they start talking about movies, and he's talking about leaving the band, and Freaking goes, wait, I don't want to break the band up. You got to go back. That's what happened, and that's when Peter started going, I have to write my own stuff. I was like, God damn. Anyway, fuck you, William Friedkin.
All right.
He did like that. Okay.
Well, moving on to our last little tidbit.
From Powerpuff Girls to The Exorcist. Amazing transition.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
No, this is how it all works. I mean, what happened to me last time? I busted out with a petition thing when you were talking about Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
This is how this works.
This is how this show works.
This is how we do
last
it.
little news tidbit before we get coming. Actually ties us into our previous episode. It has been said that Olivia Munn is in final talks to make her return to G4 TV.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Still no other details.
Still no other details, but apparently she is in final talks to make her grand return to G4 TV.
Excellent.
I'm just like, with me, I just open up a floodgates. Okay, let's get Kevin Ferrero, let's get this Allison Haywood, let's get this one and this one and this one, and then we'll add in Xavier Woods.
I was going to say, can we replace Xavier Tallarico with Xavier? Please. And that's coming from my own Italian brethren. Can we do? I can do without that guy. We're good. I remember when her grand exit happened, and she was going to be an actress, and I really thought that she was going to be a really good actress, and I can't.
She's done a lot of stuff. I mean, she's built quite the resume.
Hell yeah! Well,
she has built quite the resume.
I thought her Psylocke was fine. We could argue about those movies. But I thought she was fine. And I got to see her naked in Magic Mike. And yes, I watched both Magic Mike because everybody in that fucking movie is pretty.
Yes, even Kevin Nash.
Yes, even Kevin Nash. Take a ride down the... Never mind, what?
I've never seen Magic Mike.
Me neither, Fox. It's okay.
Don't watch it with the children. Sorry.
All right. Well,
I'm
that being said, we've given you all your little appetizer tidbits. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the G4
Go.
thing. I really want to. I really hope they put it on TV. I know we talked about it briefly last week. I really don't think it works the same if it's just on YouTube because, as I said, you have Funhouse, you have Achievement Hunter, Let's Play. You have all those guys, and I think you just add to it. I don't think it's special unless somebody gives them a network. Even if it starts at like the end of the day on the network somewhere, like G4 takes over at 6 or something. I really hope they try the TV thing, especially now that a lot of people are home. I really hope they try that because I don't want to see it go on YouTube and then just crash and burn again. That'd make me sad.
I mean, they were trendsetters, and the smartest thing for them to do as trendsetters that they would be to be on TV because right now everyone is doing YouTube, everyone is doing Twitch and podcasts and such. That the smartest thing to do would be doing the complete opposite.
Yes.
We're back, bitches.
Channel 48.
We're back. That's it. All right. Well, as I said, those are your appetizers and tidbits. It is now time for the main course. And boy, do we have a main course after this DC fandom and everything like that. So it's like, honestly, it's like, where do you begin? Because everything over the, everything over those 24 hours is like, boom. Blockbuster announcement, blockbuster announcement, blockbuster announcement. In case you missed it, here's another blockbuster announcement. In case you missed that one, here's another blockbuster announcement. So we'll try to start from the lowest and go to the highest, which there really isn't many. Starting out with, I'm going to start with Wonder Woman, 1984. Like, that actually, this new trailer looks really good.
I liked it with the first trailer alone, but the added parts to it definitely made me go, oh, shit.
Yeah, like, nice. I'm not really, like, a huge Wonder Woman fan, but I was like, all right, this movie looks like it's going to kick ass.
Can I just say, can I get Kristen Wiig's number, please?
Yeah, I mean, that was really what sold
Doesn't
it
she
for
look
me.
so different in this movie?
Yeah.
And past the joke, she looks hot, but she looks good, and the little shots you got of her, I was like, oh my God, they're going to pull this off. They're going to fucking pull this off. It's going to be amazing. She's going to be the villain of the year. I guarantee it. I mean, considering what else is going on in the real world, she'll be the villain of the year.
Most definitely.
And like, this is definitely, I mean, she's done like little dramatic stuff here and there, but like, this is really like a completely different side and role for her now. And I'm actually excited to see it. Like, and again, I'm not a Wonder Woman fan, but I'm like, all right, this actually looks pretty freaking kick-ass right now. This is looking good.
Wonder Woman.
Anyone who saw
What
Wonder,
are you thinking?
I'm thinking a lot. Because Patty Jenkins obviously knows what to do with this role, and and a lot of people echoed your statements, Damien, that weren't Wonder Woman fans and just only knew like the Linda Carter TV show or didn't know anything about it. And they came away from the first, and I took people to see Wonder Woman in a theater, and they left absolutely blown away, just because of how good it was. It was how well it was made, and how just a damn good film it was. It's still the best as far as DC movies go. That's still Wonder Woman, in my opinion, is still number one up there. So it didn't surprise me at all that this one would just, again, like Foxy said, the first trailer was amazing. And this one showing Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, just a little glimpse of Cheetah, was amazing. And with actresses like that, Damien, that could do comedy and drama and stuff like that, when they take on a superhero role, it just opens them up, and you see, like, take Kate Blanchett from Thor. You know, she's a 2-time Oscar winner. You know, she does Woody Allen movies. She does art house films. When she got the script, and she got to wear a costume and be a badass, you saw a completely different Kate Blanchett, and she dominated that film. I mean, Thor Ragnarok had so many special effects and so many, and Hulk and all that stuff, but seeing her, that's what made the film. And like you said, Kristen Wiig will make this movie, and because she's just good in everything she does anyway, but now that she gets to be a comic book villain, oh my God. I don't even just need to see any more trailers to know that movie's going to. I want to see it in a theater though, kids. I really, really do. because it leads into another tidbit I
Yeah,
have for
they're trying to pick them open.
yeah for later on in the show. But yeah, Wonder Woman 84, my favorite year. Cannot wait.
Awesome. All right. Well, other news, little tidbit coming out of everything. It has been confirmed that Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton will both be playing Batman in the upcoming Flash movie. What?
Yes. So now we get both camps get to celebrate their favorite Batman. So I don't have to war with either one of those, the Michael Keaton fans or the truly, the great Ben Affleck fans, the ones that actually know who the best Batman is. So very, very excited about that. Flashpoint, for those of you who don't know, is one of the seminal series in DC history where, where in the Marvel you have multiverses and in DC you have different Earths. And it was kind of touched on in the Flash season finale. We got to see different Earths. We got to see Harvey Bullock from Earth 89. We got to see the Smallville Earth. We got to see Doom Patrol. So DC's taking that, the movie's taking that cue from the TV show, which is the one thing Marvel's lacking. They don't connect their TV and their movies. But the Flashpoint movie now will have both Batman in them, the Michael Keaton version and the superior Ben Affleck version. Very excited about that. Maybe they'll even have the TV version of Flash in the movie, kind of like a Turnabout is Fair Play, because the movie version of Flash
Absolutely.
made
And
it to
then
the TV series.
Yeah, and then the burning question, I think, is obviously with the Michael Keaton aspect. It's like, okay, is he going to be like Batman / Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond? Are they going to CG him a little bit and make him younger and put him back in the suit? So there's definitely a lot of questions that arose out of this. I saw tidbits of here and there of Affleck as the grizzled veteran Batman, and I got to say, since the Keaton, I did like what I saw out of Ben Affleck as Batman. Mm-hmm. And again, we've mentioned this in the past, like when you take on that role, remember, you're not taking on one role, you're taking on two. When you play a convincing Bruce Wayne and a convincing Batman. And through the years, I think Keaton was one of the ones that was able to do the two, surprisingly. Other than that, like George Clooney, great Bruce Wayne, not a great Batman. Val Kilmer, decent Bruce Wayne, horrible Batman, and so on and so forth. But like Ben Affleck was really encompassed that grizzled veteran Batman.
I loved how you skipped Christian Bale in that whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Christian Bale was a great.
Why I skipped Christian Bale.
There is a reason. Go ahead.
The reason why I can't take him seriously as Batman because of the heavy lisp. I can't do it. No, it's not even the growly voice. It's the lisp that's in it. It's like, bro, you are not intimidating with that lisp. I'm sorry.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Hockey pads. But I will say,
I'd just be giggling at him. As a criminal, I'd be giggling at him. Dude, you got to listen.
I get it. He made a great Bruce Wayne though, because when he bought the hotels, when he
that's the thing.
When the cover story that he got drunk and burned down the Wayne Manor, that's typical Bruce Wayne stuff. So he did great Bruce Wayne. Ben Affleck to me is my favorite Batman because it was the only Batman from the Dark Knight version, the Dark Knight Returns version, that had been Batman for 25 years, old, grizzled, just a complete sad sack. And that's the only Batman that hasn't had its proper due in a solo movie. That's why, and he's the only Batman in the whole litany of film Batman to have his costume is exactly like it was in the comic book. No other Batman on film has that. His suit in Batman v Superman was exactly from Dark Knight Returns. And I think he did an amazing job. I've said on a previous podcast, as a matter of fact, on our last one, why Michael Keaton isn't my Batman and who I thought would have done a better job than him. Several other people, but that's neither here nor there. But that the fact that he's going to be in it is great because, like him or not, and I love Michael Keaton. I just didn't like him as Batman. He's got the seminal line. He was the first to say, "I'm Batman." Yeah, no one can take that away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Still should have been Kurt Russell, but we'll leave that as it may, and look forward to Flashpoint, because if Flashpoint the movie and really it's saying something about Ezra Miller, that everyone's talking about Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton instead of the star of the film, Ezra Miller, who is playing Flash. So it is his film. So
I know we're going to talk about Justice League before this is over, but as far as Ezra Miller, I was going to say something about Michael Keaton, but let me just say about Ezra Miller, he was fan-fucking-tastic in that movie, and he has my favorite moment in Justice League. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it by now, when they're fighting, when Superman comes back, and they're fighting him against the Memorial, and this dude thinks he's going to get around him, and starts running towards to get around Superman, and Superman just doesn't even turn his head. He just turns his eye, and then I get chills thinking about that, right? That was perfect. And then it cuts back to the Flash going.
Ezra Miller, his Flash in Justice League was exactly Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Marvel. It was
perfect. He was perfect. I know there's a whole television show, but he's my Flash. And I think he'll steal the show when it comes down to it, once they get this Flash. There have been people waiting for Flashpoint for so long. I'm so happy they got that they got two Batmans to do this. It's going to blow people's minds they get it right. As far as Michael Keaton goes, I grew up watching Johnny Dangerously as a kid. Yeah, my mom let me watch that. I am so goddamn happy he's back after Birdman, and he was the Vulture. When they open the door after that montage, and he opens the door as her father.
Yeah,
I will never forget the collective in that full theater when it opens the door and he's just standing there. Hey, Pete! Oh, holy shit! And I'm so happy he's back. I love Michael Keaton, and he kind of went away for a little while, and now he's gonna be Batman again. I'm nerdgasming all over the place.
you should. I love Michael Keaton, and the people that I want to address it to the people that I've had differences with were Michael Keaton. I just like with you with Johnny Dangerously. I saw Johnny Dangerously in a theater.
Yeah,
I saw
you're old.
Yeah, I am old, but I also saw Gung Ho and Night Shift
right.
and Mr. Mom in a theater. So I paid to see Michael Keaton. That's how much I loved him. I watched Michael Keaton do stand up on the Midnight Special, and I thought he was great. So I love Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton was a stand-up guy?
Yes, that's where we got started.
I have to look this up. That's amazing.
Dan, why do you think I was so upset when I heard he was cast as Batman?
Why are you yelling at me?
Because that's why I want people to get when he was cast as Batman. I said,
No, hold on. First of all, let me just say, anybody that argues with you is usually wrong because you know your shit. So let me just say that right now. If anybody's arguing with this dude, yeah, but he was really good. Take the perspective of a guy that grew up literally of age watching Michael Keaton, why he was worried about that role in the first place. I understand your point of view. Kiss my ass, but I understand your point of view. You don't have to explain to anybody on this show your point of view, because again, we'll talk about it later. As we've seen, every time there's a casting of Batman, somebody bitches about it.
Yes. And so way back in 1988, when the Warner Brothers was making a Batman film, absolutely no one was saying, "Oh, it's got to be Michael Keaton."
Yeah, no, I get it. You know, I completely understand your. Yeah. I get it. I understand why you were like, "Why the fuck?"
But Dan, just like I did all the other times, all the other movies, I saw Batman in the theater 3 times. Paid to see it every time. Paid for other people. Took dates to see it. Because I was so thrilled about having it. I don't know if you noticed or not. Yeah,
dates.
But the same movie.
Yeah, the same movie. And then I had to act surprised when I saw it was a different one. They go, "Oh, did you see that?"
By the way, some things never change.
No, they do not. No more things change. So having Michael Keaton back, and I'm just absolutely enthralled. And because because he's such a damn good actor, he's always going to have a career. But to go back and to get a chance to do that for a generation of people that is their Batman, and I'm not trying to take that away because he is a seminal part of film history because he was the first big screen Batman to make it and he made the role his own. Um, and you know how some people say I can't see anyone else in the role. I can still see other people in the role, but he's the Batman that we have, and it's like we can't do anything about it. He didn't take my childhood. He just took my idea. It's like, wow, Mr. Mom is kicking somebody's ass. I didn't see that. Hunt Stevenson is a badass. Yeah.
It's true though, because the same Batman debate can be said about the Joker debate.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same
debate.
So, well, you know what gets me, kids, Foxy, Damien, if I can just for a second to kind of put this in perspective. 138. I'm going to give you some numbers. 138 and 147. There's been 138 actors that have played Dracula on screen. There's been 147 actors that have played Sherlock Holmes on screen. Please don't get bent out of shape about 5 Batmen. Okay? Really not that big a deal.
All right. Fine.
Best point ever.
That's a good point. Well, we all agree that Mark Hamill's the Joker, right?
Yeah. Mark Hamill, keep that in mind. We'll put a pin on that because I have some Mark Hamill news coming up later in this podcast.
Nerd herder leaders, take it back.
Yeah, go ahead, Damien. What's up next?
All right. Well, since we're kind of bleeding into the topic already, all right. We also got the long-awaited trailer for many of the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League.
I thought you were going to a different trailer.
Some people were excited. Some people were like, some people were just like, this is just a cash grab and everything like that. So, Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer, and go.
Okay. First, I don't understand it. Do I want to see it? Yeah, sure. It looks good. But I don't understand the sudden, we want to see Zack Snyder's cut when everybody actually hated and shit on Zack Snyder for so long up until he said he had a darker version cut of Justice League. So now all of a sudden we like the guy?
Yeah, because like
everything else he's done is gold.
Yeah, because you remember on the way out, like during and on the way out, he wasn't Mr. Popular.
No, so I don't get the sudden craving for his footage and the sudden, oh, Zack Snyder's so great. Like,
I think it was more so because like when Justice League finally hit, a lot of people were like,
Well, what I think it was, Damien, is the word of mouth when it came out that the on the Batman vs Superman DVD, the extra footage that made the film, not infinitely better, but deservedly, markedly better. The 40 minutes that was in the Blu-ray that people didn't see, and so that whet the appetite of, oh well, if this added footage that wasn't in theaters makes this film that good, so much better than the theatrical release, what else does he have? And that's what whet the appetite of many. Go ahead, Dan.
As a Zack Snyder defender to the end, I was one of 3 people that saw Watchmen in the local theater the night it debuted. It was me and 3 others. So y'all kiss my ass if you think I haven't been to this argument before. I don't mean you on the show. I mean everybody who's like, Zack Snyder. Yeah, y'all kiss my big white ass.
Ritz.
Kiss my big ritzy ass. So here's the first example. I'll just say this. The Justice League movie is okay. I don't hate it. I liked it. It's not the greatest piece of film ever put to stock, but it was fine. I have a lot of complaints, but I complain a lot. So I'm told. I don't actually, but that's what they tell me. The first, I have 2. I'm going to go back to the Ghostbusters so I'm sorry. There's Ghostbusters and Batman vs. Superman. Ghostbusters came out. A lot of people liked it, but a lot of people went, meh. Batman vs. Superman came out. A lot of people went, meh, you're all crazy, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Then the extended versions of both came out. And as much as I liked both original versions, my thought was, why the fuck did either of the studios put their hands on this movie? and not release what we got, because both versions of the extended version of Batman vs Superman was like, why did you cut any of this? This is perfect. Why did you touch it? The extended version of Ghostbusters. Why did you take this out?
I agree.
There's so much stuff in Batman. Zack Snyder is right for DC because DC, you all read the books. It's long. There's chapters and chapters and history and year. Just like with Marvel, they went another direction. Nobody's going to argue with that formula because that was pretty fucking good. But it's supposed to be long, monotonous, and angry and dark and gritty. And Zack Snyder exactly gave you that, and everybody's bitching. I wanted Batman versus Superman to be 4 fucking hours long. I got what I wanted out of that movie. I thought it was fantastic. We could debate Martha being stupid. It doesn't kill the movie for me because you still have Tell Me, Do You Bleed? You will. Justice League, that trailer came out. First of all, good choice with Nirvana. No, that's the Batman trailer. Sorry. Batman good trailer. Choice with, what did they use? God damn it. What did they use? They used a specific song, and now I'm forgetting.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, yeah.
Hallelujah, yeah. So now I don't have to think about Silk Spectre and Night Owl fucking in the ship now, because that ruined that song for me. I think Hallelujah. I'm like, yeah, I think Hallelujah. It's gonna turn out the same way Batman versus Superman did for me, where it's like, why would you cut this? This was perfect. I get real angry. As ADD as I am, and I can't sit still. People are like, I'm gonna sit 3 hours and 4 hours in the movie theater. Yeah, imagine that. Sit still. God forbid. If you can't, wait for it to come out on demand. If you have kids, I understand you can't go. Then don't go.
But that's my point. Zack Snyder, like, one of my favorite things that he did was Sucker Punch. Everybody hates it. It's too dark. It's too confusing.
What?
Anything is dark. It's confusing. And then they don't like it. But then all of a sudden, everybody is up the Snyder cut ass. I thought y'all thought he was too dark and confusing for you.
And I think what added to it, though, was like the actors like chiming in. Like I think a lot of the cast, like Momoa and a couple of people, were very vocal. They were kind of disappointed with what came out theatrically, and they were like, "No, what Zach had was pretty good." And then that's what got the wheels going on it and everything like that, was the fact that Momoa and Affleck and all these people were like, "Nah, you guys had to see what he originally had planned."
They need to like petition for people to rewatch Sucker Punch and see how good it is.
I mean, to my understanding, too, before orders came out, I mean, I think this like boosts up Justice League now up to like 3 hours or something like that now.
Yeah. And which is standard Zack Snyder, stuff, right? A standard Zack Snyder movie. If you added the footage from Batman versus Superman that was on the DVD, that would have been a 3-hour film. So
yeah, the Blu-ray, the extended version of Batman versus Superman's like over 3 hours, and I'm just like, all right, give it to me. That's the version I have. I have that 4K. It's brilliant.
Yeah, when I played the trailer, like the kids have not seen the original Justice League. They're more into the Marvel stuff, but like, Jace, again, our middle dark child. We're watching the trailer, and he just went, "Oh my God, Dark Side!" So he said, "Oh my God, it's Dark Side."
There you go. That's it.
I was like, "I'm watching this."
Batman versus Superman has one of my favorite shots in any movie ever put out in the theaters, and it's the dream sequence. It's the one long shot of the dream sequence where he's fighting the soldiers of Superman, and they're just this one shot of all these people converging onto Batman's location, all the aliens and all the soldiers, which cuts to a great moment with where he's hanging and being arrested, but he's being captured by Superman. And that's lost because, well, that movie sucked. And it's a great shot. I really wish people would give that movie a second chance and ignore the Martha thing. Jesus Christ, I could nitpick any movie and say, well, we really didn't need that.
Yeah, it was that was a great scene, Dan. And being a comic book fan, that was reminiscent of a couple of stories DC stories that they put together. Kind of one was from Tower of Babel, and I think another was for another Justice League story. So I just thought it was great. It was a great shot. It was anything post-apocalyptic. I'm weirdly attracted to. But yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes too. To echo what you said, Foxy, I don't understand. Zack Snyder was the same guy the whole time, but now, with the Justice League cut, now all of a sudden he's something else. But nothing about him has changed at all. But now that the Justice League has added new stuff, and he's going to add now, all of a sudden he's marked as or we're up Zack Snyder's ass. I don't get it.
And Zack Snyder, he's the hero that DC movies kind of need, especially when they are more dark and gritty, with the exception of like a Wonder Woman or a Flash. But with the storyline, we always said DC was grittier than Marvel. Marvel is very bright colors and such, but DC's been gritty. Zack Snyder is the hero that DC needs when it comes to their movies being super dark and super gritty.
Just want to add 2 comments. Harry says it's going to be 4 hours. It's going to be basically a 4-part hour-long miniseries. Each.
That's fine. I sat through a 5-hour Watchmen movie.
Yeah, right.
DVD.
Exactly.
I had to sit through Lord of the Rings once not by choice, so yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. No comment. Sock says, I didn't hate it either. I thought it was mediocre, but I feel like the reason why a lot of people wanted to see this is because they feel like it's going to be a lot better than what they got. And with the reason Zach stepped away, I feel like people wanting to see what we should have got because of what happened in his life all those years ago. So I guess it's a make-do people want to see. Yeah.
Rewatch Sucker Punch People is good.
Yeah,
Sucker Punch is going to be really good.
We watch all Zack Snyder movies. Stop being such a bitch about it.
How about just watch movies?
Watch movies.
Just watch movies.
Yeah.
You got time.
We got time. What else, Damien?
All right, so we're gonna break it up a little bit because it's very Justice League, Batman heavy stuff. So we're gonna break it up a little bit and throw a little piece of something else in there that came out from DC fandom that was out of the blue. The first Black Adam teaser, which is kind of had like a motion comic feel and everything like that. But like The Rock's been talking about this one for Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
But he's been talking about this one for so long, and we finally got something out of it. It wasn't necessarily him, but it was more like, again, it looked more like a motion comic, but it kind of gave you like a little backdrop and a feel of what the movie's going to be like and everything like that. And I got to admit, I'm kind of excited about Black Adam.
The voiceover by The Rock, a.k.a. Dwayne Johnson, is what sold it. And that's the first time I was attracted to it was the voiceover for Black Adam, because, it's weird how Dwayne Johnson has carved out the most successful movie career of anyone in the last 10 years without doing one single superhero film. And here it's his first one, and it was like he was custom made for it. After years of being attached to so many comic book projects, he was supposed to be Namor, the Submariner. He was supposed to be Doc Savage, Man of Bronze. He was supposed to be something else in Marvel, but here as Black Adam, I think this was the perfect role for him. He looks exactly like the comic character. This trailer, I wish more movies would use trailers like this to tell a story.
Yeah, because it doesn't show you anything in the movie.
Exactly. It just makes me want to see it.
But by the way, about the motion comic, I'm fairly certain. My theory is that the reason why they use the motion comic, and again, Craig, you're right, they should do more of that, is because they haven't been able to shoot anything because of what's going on. So, hey, can you record a voiceover? Yeah, sure, I'll do it in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, and again, I think, again, it created it definitely created a different way to present it, which was nice. It was original. For those that weren't familiar with the character, you got a feel of the character and everything like that.
And it didn't give away the movie, because a lot of movie trailers lately literally are giving you the entire plot of a movie, or they give you all of the like super duper action scenes to where it's like the rest is just filler when you're actually watching a movie lately. It was just the right amount of, ooh.
I am intrigued.
Yes.
And that's why I don't watch trailers, Foxy. It's for that exact reason. And sometimes what you see in the trailer does not end up on the screen at all. So, avoid trailers.
And then when Shazam hit, after, it was a nice sidetrack to the style of what DC had been doing. It was a little bit more lighthearted and everything like that, with the exception of the villain. And I think Black Adam's going to do the same thing. It's going to give you a little bit something different because, let's face it, Black Adam's not exactly a hero either, I mean, and everything. So I'm definitely excited for Black Adam for sure, as well as everybody else. Shifting gears again, trying to stay away from the Bat stuff, sort of. We also got our first roll call trailer for the next Suicide Squad, which actually looks better than the first one. This one looks good. And then John Cena happens to be in this one. So, and I love when they did the roll call, showing all the characters, Idris Elba and John Cena, and it just says, King Shark. No actor.
That's it.
King Shark.
No actor.
And of course,
got a real live shark.
King Shark.
This is one of the larger casts. It probably is the largest cast of any superhero film ever made. They got a bunch of heavy hitters. Even found a way to get Pete Davidson in there, which is quite an accomplishment. But the thing, what I heard about this movie, though, Damien, is that it's not a sequel, but it's also not a sequel. So I don't know.
It's based on like one of the World Wars or something, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's like a soft reboot kind of deal, right?
Yeah, but they're still going to put some people from the first movie that are in this movie, but it's So
I think I figured out why I like the first movie so much and why people think I'm crazy. It's Ghostbusters at the end.
The last 30 minutes is Ghostbusters.
It's pretty much Ghostbusters. So if you switch any of those characters out with any of the 12 Ghostbusters that exist in the universe, you got a Ghostbusters movie at the end. That's period. That's it. It's okay. It's not the greatest movie, but it's probably my least favorite of the however many they got.
It was a great introduction to Harley Quinn. That's what I took away from Suicide Squad.
Perfect. And I like that in Birds of Prey, they kind of showed that footage, but not really showed the Joker. Like, we're going to ignore that part. But here's Church jumping into some acid. We can figure that out.
My main thing that I'm hoping, though, that they don't do with Harley, because DC, they're obviously in the movie universe, are trying to make her their Deadpool. And I caught like the last 10, 15 minutes of Birds of Prey. And, she's breaking the fourth wall, and she's doing the gags, and she's talking to the camera. And I'm like, Harley doesn't do that. That's not Harley. She doesn't break the fourth wall and stuff like that. So hopefully they revert her back to the way that she's supposed to be and not acting like Deadpool. All in all, though, I was really excited to see it. Again, I just hope, because Gunn is behind it, I just hope he doesn't make it feel too much like his first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and it still stands on its own. According to him, though, it's the biggest one he's ever done and everything like that. And I'm like, well, Guardians of the Galaxy was pretty big when you did that one. So
that's what I say. I mean, like, what?
Well, I'm kind of excited, though, for the Suicide Squad. It definitely does look interesting.
With that cast, you can't help but be intrigued about it. Again, a lot of heavy hitters, Idris Elba. And,
instead of Fluga. Who cares about Fluga more?
But the original and the original cast from the first film in here, Harley really is DC's MVP. It's really their one go-to character that they have, whereas Marvel has several, you have your core, your Iron Man, your Captain America, and even before we get to Deadpool, Marvel's got a whole slew of MVPs. DC, the pickings are slim, it's so with Harley, we don't know if we'll ever see Henry Cavill as a Superman again. We got 3 Batman right now as we speak. So right now, Harley's kind of, carrying the torch until Wonder Woman, though. But it's great that they're having a Suicide Squad. I know Peter Gunn is going to honor this commitment in order to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So this will be a good test for him.
Definitely looking forward to it.
I really loved Birds of Prey. I really love that movie, and there was a scene where, it was ripped. The first thing I thought was, Deadpool, because she's in the police precinct looking for the kid, and they shoot up a bunch of coke, and she sniffs the coke up. And I was like, aha! They found the magic, literally dust.
Dan,
But-
you know what? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, as long as they pull it back, I think that works for Birds of Prey, because the way they were telling that story, they framed it as it was a third wall breaker. Like, I'm the fourth wall breaker. I'm telling you the story. I'm also involved. Oh, but I'm also telling you the story of these girls here. and we have that established now. And I assume they're going to do more. I never not bust out laughing when she goes, "It's a crossbow. I'm not fucking 12." But
you know about Birds of Prey, Dan, that it opened at #1.
you're not allowed to say that because it caused
Such
no.
derision. And
I'm not. Can you please tell the Vargases that, please? That argument?
Foxy, Damien, if I can have your ear for a second. Earlier this year, I was commenting on the fact that Margot Robbie, the weekend that Birds of Prey came out, she went to the Oscars where she was nominated, and then the very next day she was on the set of The Suicide Squad. So I was commenting on what a great weekend she had. So I said, not only did she have a #1 film, she attended the Oscars, and the very next morning she's on the set of Suicide Squad. Margot Robbie's amazing. All I got back from the comments, and I shared this picture of her from the set of Suicide Squad, everyone focused on #1 movie, ? Well, I wouldn't call it a #1. Well, it sucked, but no other movies came out that weekend. But it really underperformed. But if it made more money than any movie that came out that weekend, that's what a #1 film is. I had to fight people on this. They were arguing with me. I wouldn't call it a #1. It's not my opinion. I'm not saying it's the greatest movie of all time. I'm saying that it made more money than any movie that opened that weekend. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. I still got people arguing with me. Really? #1? ? Well, I wouldn't call it a #1 film. It only made $33 million. But no other movie made $33 million. So it's #1.
I made $33 million. I feel like #1 too.
Can I have only $33 million if it's not that much? Like, come on.
I had to go Dickie Roberts on them, Damien. Do you remember the movie Dickie Roberts, former child star with David Spade? You know how much money it made opening weekend? $6 million. You know what other movie opened it that weekend that made more than that? 0. You know what that means? Dickie Roberts was a #1 film.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Exactly.
I was just watching this on the I was just watching this on Facebook unfold, just texting him in private. Going, are we on the same page here? I don't think we're on the same page. I don't think anybody understands that.
I don't understand why me calling Birds of Prey the #1 film rubbed so many people the wrong way.
And shut up, small penis people. It was a good goddamn movie.
It was a good film.
It was fine. Shut up.
Yeah. When it comes to
Christ.
DC needs all the help it can get, so
Fuck me.
Yeah.
She had a gorgeous breakfast sandwich at 4K. It was beautiful. She sniffed coke. She's talking to everybody, shooting people with paint guns. Shut the fuck up. It was fine.
And she had a CGI hyena.
Yeah, god damn it. Ate licorice, you assholes.
And this episode's Nerd Rage is sponsored by Dan.
Fuck me. Fuck. It's just a fucking movie. Shut up. Sorry.
What else you got, Damien?
All right, well, sticking on the Suicide Squad front, the big surprise one that came out that came out by FanDome that no one saw coming. Video game trailer for Suicide Squad kills Justice League. Holy balls!
Wow.
Take my money now, Rocksteady. You guys roll.
Yeah, let's connect it back to wrestling real quick. Does everybody know who King Shark is in the video game?
That would be Samoa Joe. And actually, what's interesting is, because I was going to bring that up, this is actually not his first voice acting credit either. I think this is like his second one, because he did a voice for the Transformers series that was on Netflix.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so Samoa Joe's building up quite the voice acting resume as well. But oh my God, like, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League just looks amazing. I can't wait for this game. I want it. Gotta have it. And then
I will withhold my excitement. I will withhold my excitement until I see gameplay because, well, that'll come up in a second.
Yeah.
That's Rocksteady. You did.
Well, okay. All right.
Damien, it seems like I thought that was a rumor. I didn't know that was a real thing till like yesterday. I thought, oh, okay, well, that's a nice idea, but it's going to be an actual video game. Amazing. And I'm saying this because I've got my fill of Avengers beta. I've been playing that nonstop, daily. So for another superhero game, I'm aching for that. So great news.
If you haven't seen the game trailer for it, it's amazing. It's
Good
absolutely
trailer.
amazing. Like great comedy and everything like that. But that ending, holy shit! That ending, it's just like. It's like, again, if you haven't seen it, Craig, just watch the trailer. It's just like the ending is what really makes the trailer.
I know you don't like watching trailers, but watch that one.
Well, for a video game, yes, I will watch trailers because I got to see what I'm throwing my money at. So that's exactly what I'm going to do when I get done with you guys. So what's the other video game news you got, Damien?
Okay, so then the other video game news, of course, is we got Gotham Knights, which was rumored there was going to be another Batman game. It's like, yes, there is another Batman game, but there's a twist to it. There is a twist to it. So Gotham Knights opens up with, Bruce Wayne's like, if you've received this message, I'm dead. And it's just like, whoa, and everything like that. And it basically, he leaves the mantle of keeping the peace in the city, which is already going crazy because Batman's dead and Batman's gone, Bruce Wayne's gone. And it's left to Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, and Red Hood. And holy crap. It's just, whoa. And each one of them has their own different play style and everything like that. And of course, obviously it's going to have the multiplayer option and everything like that. But again, it's running off the same engine as all the previous Batman games, so the fighting mechanics are incredible and everything like that. But again, just look absolutely amazing. Whereas like the Suicide Squad was just a full blown game trailer. You didn't really get gameplay. So again, it spoils. That's the great thing about video game trailers. It really doesn't spoil much of anything because, and then also cinematically, the cinematic you can't take that as gameplay, but the trailer was great. But with the Gotham Knights one, they gave you the blend. They gave you the story, and then you saw some gameplay and everything. They gave you a little bit of everything, and it was just like, oh, dear Santa.
The Batman video games are my favorite video game franchise of all time. I've played more hours, lost more time, been almost fired more for being late from playing Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and the last one, Arkham Knight. And the last one, we got the DLC, the downloadable content. You got to play as Harley, you got to play as Robin, you got to play as Batgirl. So I'm glad they took that into an entire video game. And this will be the first game, for what I understand, that's not going to have Batman in it. So
hold on, wait a minute. We're not buying that he's dead, right?
I'm sure there is a function that might be in the DLC where you can play as Batman,
Okay.
but the four protagonists are the ones that Damien just mentioned, and I'm very excited to play.
I am very excited.
Red Hood.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be Batgirl so much it's not even funny because I love her cape.
Well, but then this is the funny thing. It was almost like two trailers / reveals in one because you get all of this stuff, and all of a sudden you get like this chamber. And you hear this voiceover and dialogue, whatever, and it reveals.
Oh, that's right.
Is the Court of Owls.
Yes,
and
that's the main villain. Yes.
What?
Here's how my FanDome day went. Like right.
30 seconds.
Here's how my FanDome day went, Damien. I was like, I forgot to keep checking back, so I kept catching shit late. So the Phillies got scored against, didn't they?
No, he was just. He hit a double. He should have been out, but
I thought so. I saw that reaction. I'm like, shit, I know what he's watching. So I missed the trailer reveal, but I saw the gameplay footage live of Gotham Knight, and I was sold there. I know people were like, "Well, it's WB Montreal." I liked Arkham Origins. I don't know what the problem was with everybody. I liked that game. It's the only game I think our friend Craig Steve Morrison broke twice.
Yes. For playing Deadpool.
Yeah,
for playing Deathstroke. Rather.
Deathstroke. He took it out of the machine, broke it, and then immediately ordered another copy so he could play it again.
I loved all the Batman games. The Arkham series of Batman games is the best, and it's got the best engine. And getting to play as Batman, and going throughout the entire city of Gotham, and then through Arkham, absolutely incredible. So. Gotham Knights had me.
Here's my shocking statement of the week. I've played Arkham City more than any Ghostbuster video game ever.
Wow.
I have played Arkham. You okay over there? I've played Arkham City so much. That is from start to finish one of the I shocked purple in the chat. I love the Ghostbusters video game. It's so goddamn long. It's long, and that part at the end with the freaking gargoyles at the gate, I did 27 times because it keeps kicking my fucking ass. But I played Arkham City 5 times through, where I played Ghostbusters 3 times through, from start to finish. I love that video game. The NES version, I've never gotten past the first 3 buildings of the NES version, and I'm not going back to that because that Ghostbusters game sucks.
But yeah, I mean, with the Gotham Knights one, it was just like, it was literally like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then quarter of hours, oh my god, like the whole way through that trailer, it was like, oh.
That's right, I forgot, Damien. Everybody here know who Alana Pierce is, or at least heard of Alana Pierce?
Mm-hmm.
All right, she used to work for IGN. She works for Funhouse. She's also a video game journalist, originally from Australia. I would put her video game prowess against anybody I know. She'd probably beat him, hands down. She's the gamer that I dreamed to be. I will never be that good or involved in video games. I missed the trailer and watched it as she recorded a reveal because she is a huge Batman fan. Uber Batman fan. Craig, she's got you beat, dude. I'm sorry, with all due respect. She's got us all beat as far as Batman. It's just not. You look her up. We lost, but she watches the trailer, and we had at the same time because again I'd missed it. So I'm like, oh, there was a trailer. I'll watch it with Alana. We did that at the same time the courthouse thing started, and I damn near passed out. I was, oh my god, they're gonna finally. Oh, holy shit! I don't care what comes before this. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and the thing is, playing as those 4 is game enough, but you add the owls to it.
Now, now, do we think? Let's go around the room. Do we think it's going to be like Avengers, where you can switch and pick who you want, or do you think you're going to have to use Batgirl and then have to use Red Hood for these missions, and then have to use Robin for these, or Nightwing for these missions?
I think it's going to be like last Arkham Knight. You get to play as Batman, and then another part of the game you get to play as Nightwing, and another part you get to play as Robin. So I think you're going to have to go through all 4 of these to get. And I think it's going to be all 4 of them battling different courts of owls.
Harry thinks GTA style. Nerdherder bosses, what do you think?
It's I don't see that's the thing because they mentioned the multiplayer thing, so I don't know if the multiplayer is going to coincide with potential stories or anything like that, but it sounds more feasible, like what you guys are saying. It's gonna be like, okay, play this chapter with this one and this chapter with this one, and so forth and so on to put the whole story together.
I don't have an opinion.
I will say that
play and watch the story.
I like that DC was said, "Oh, you're having an Avengers game? That's cute."
Really, pretty much.
Oops.
Because like they killed it with the other 2 games.
Yeah,
they definitely did. All right, now leading into the last and the biggest, like holy shit through the whole thing. So we're gonna build this one up a little bit. All right, so when Robert Pattinson was announced as it's Robert Pattinson, right?
yeah, she got it.
Whatever. Okay, when he was announced as Batman, everybody went, and it was like everybody was already shitting on it. Everybody was shitting on it. Top Don was shitting on it. Everybody was shitting on it. Everybody's like, oh,
it was Michael Keaton all over again, Damien.
Yeah, but like the poor guy can't get out of the Twilight bubble, so everyone was like, no, absolutely not, no. And then this trailer dropped, and the first one I see on my feed is Papa Don goes, all right, I'm not completely sold, but I'm giving this a chance.
I sent it to him. I sent that to him. I said, I know how you feel, but I thought of you first. I sent that motherfucker to him.
So we sat here, we watched the trailer, I went, fuck, this actually looks good. And then I go on Facebook, and everybody went, all right, this action is pretty damn good. This is pretty good. Like, all right. And then it was like, then it had to be investigated a little bit because we knew Colin Farrell was cast as the Penguin. So everybody's like, where's the Penguin? And I was like, I'm looking, and I tell her, I says, I have a funny feeling that's Colin Farrell. And sure, they got him like all this amazing
Holy
prosthetics.
shit, that's Colin Farrell?
That's Colin Farrell. That's Colin Farrell as the Penguin. And then the interesting twist is, you know, the Riddler seeming to be the main villain in it and everything like that, but as a homicidal killer. Like they're going like a very like dark. I think it's supposed to be like Batman year one in a sense, and everything like that. Year two.
Well, it seems like they're incorporating a little bit of Zaz in with the Riddler.
Yeah. I was definitely thinking that they're incorporating Zaz mixed with the Riddler.
Oh, that was Zaz.
No, Zaz.
You mean Zaz into the... I got what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of melding him into the Riddler to make him a little bit more of a threat as opposed to the comical thing that they put out in the past and everything like that. But like, make him actually a formidable opponent of sorts. No, but it actually looked pretty damn good. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give this one a whirl and forget Twilight for a second and just look at this as a movie. And it looks like a pretty damn good movie.
All right. I might be the odd person out here. And maybe to anybody watching or listening now live or in the future to this episode, maybe I won't be the odd man out. But I'm a little Batmaned out at this point. I feel, and this is nothing against the actor playing Batman, but I feel at this point in time with the DC universe and what they're accomplishing and all of the other stories like with the Justice League and Flashpoint, that there really is no need other than a money grab for another solo Batman movie. I'm sorry. And I have, other than Zoe Kravitz, I don't have an interest in this movie strictly because, again, all we've known is Batman movies, all we've seen is Batman movies. Now is the time for the Wonder Woman, for the Flash, for Justice League, for Black Adam. Batman's already, we have two Batmans, a Flashpoint coming. Do we need a solo Batman movie right now?
No.
I don't think we do.
Well, as we know, I mean, there's DC and then there's Batman. you know, Batman stars in DC.
Well, Foxy, I can assuage your concern, and it's a valid one. We don't need another Batman to the tune of we don't need another Hero by Tina Turner, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, dated reference, but the original.
We have like a bell for every reference.
Yeah. But the Batman that we just saw the awesome trailer to, that was supposed to have been Ben Affleck's Batman. That was the title of the Batman. So they just kept the title and because Ben Affleck was was writing and directing the Batman, which was the sequel to Justice League, or was supposed to take place in between Batman v Superman and Justice League. And the original plot was for it to take place in Arkham Asylum, and he was going to write it and direct it. And then he gave up the directing to Matt Reeves because he was going to concentrate on just writing the script. But then his personal problems took over, i.e. the alcoholism, and he had to go to rehab. So he dropped out of the whole thing, and he was done Batman altogether. And that's enter Robert Pattinson and enter a brand new script, enter the Batman year 2 that we see right now. So we weren't going to have a third Batman. It was always going to be Ben Affleck from the beginning. It's just life got in the way, and Ben Affleck dropped out, which is why we see the Batman now. And that trailer that everyone's going apeshit over, and rightly so, that's only 20% of the film. They haven't even finished shooting it yet. So again, that's why another reason why I don't like trailers, especially this one, as good as it was. What we saw may or may not even be in the finished product, and we haven't even seen most of the. And just like with Suicide Squad, they have a huge cast. We saw Zoe Kravitz in there, but we didn't see her as Catwoman. We saw her a little bit with a cat mask on, but we saw a little bit of Commissioner Gordon. But there's also, we didn't see a lot of Penguin, but John David Washington is rumored to be playing Harvey Dent. because the film, the Batman, is loosely based on the Long Halloween storyline from the Batman. That's why there's so many villains in it. Because if you remember the Long Halloween, comic book fans, if you're listening to this, there was a mass murder every month, and there was a new villain every month. So in the Long Halloween, you had Penguin, you had Catwoman, you had Two-Face, you had the Riddler, you had all these different villains, and so there's more to. Again, the movie's only 20% done with what they have to work with. They brought out the trailer specifically for DC fandom, and so they put that together just for this event. We weren't going to see a trailer for quite a while. If not for this pandemic, we probably still wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
Or may have even been earlier, because if we would have had our comic book convention schedule, like I would be at one right now. Actually, it was supposed to be here. Keystone Comic Con was supposed to be here this weekend. It would have dropped, either before that or this time anyway. But so all the Batman fans, the movie's not done. It's only only shot 20% of it, and there's a lot more to it. But I agree with what you say, Fox. We don't need another Batman, but the reason we have one is because Ben Affleck couldn't do it. So
I don't mean another Batman. I just mean another, even if it was Ben Affleck. And either way, right now I'm just personally a little Batman down. I feel it's the other heroes, the other characters with Batman cameos. I'm Batman movied out at this point in time.
Which I think that's why you kind of raised an eyebrow, no pun intended, when like Black Adam was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like something different. I mean, when it comes to DC movies, I'm still waiting on my dream DC movie, which is a horror movie based on the Scarecrow. At this point, I want different. Give me different characters. Give me different origins. Just give me the whole universe. I'm sorry. Give me the whole DC
Jesus
universe.
Christ, that's assault. That's assault on camera.
I mean, even Superman, Batman was something different to give all of us. It's just, right now, just let the other players have their time. Please stop Batman.
They did the Scarecrow dirty in the Nolan movies. He
doesn't wear a shirt and tie.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but the best version of the Scarecrow has been the Arkham games.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Injustice 2, he was amazing.
Robert Englund voiced him in Justice 2.
Perfect.
Yeah. And really quick though, because you reminded me, because you mentioned the Long Halloween.
Yes.
This came out yesterday, as a matter of fact. They're kind of like they did the Dark Knight Returns in a 2-part animated movie. We are getting the Long Halloween in a 2-part animated movie as well.
I really hope they don't do to it like what they did to Killing Joke. Killing Joke is my favorite Batman graphic novel of all time, and that DVD was absolutely horrible. They got the last, but the first part, the Batman Batgirl love story was just really unnecessary. Rubbed me the wrong way. Fox, to piggyback on what you said, my dream DC movie project, Jon Stewart Green Lantern. That needs to be a film.
Yes.
Harry says he wants to see Liam Neeson in League of Assassins movie.
Okay.
He also asked, you think he should carry on with villain movies only, like the Joker?
Got to be better than the Joker then.
I do agree with doing more villain movies, because the stories of them are so complex, and in order to write a good villain movie, you have to write it where everything they're doing is evil and nefarious, but to their minds, it's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, just to see the insides and, what does turn a man, because I didn't watch the Joker movie. I don't need to. I read the book, The Joker. That was all I needed to do. But I think more villain movies need to come out. And with some of the villains, with the way some of the DC villains are, at least, again, it does fall very, horror movie. Can you see a horror movie based on Solomon Grundy? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes, please.
What they're trying to do with Marvel's New Mutants, they can do with the villains in DC Universe.
Mm-hmm.
They had a whole line of DC villains one-shot comics at one point when I worked at the comic book shop. They sold insanely.
I mean, there's been talks of the Green Lantern Corps becoming a show, I think, for HBO, whatever. I mean, the Red Lanterns. Oh, they spew blood. How much? Come on, it's right there. Like, I think horror. I think horror in the superhero genre is something that has to really start coming. DC really needs to start happening. Yeah. Definitely.
In 1990 or I think 1991, DC put out a graphic novel called The Unauthorized Biography of Lex Luthor, where we saw a tiny Lex who grew up rich and privileged, who had his parents killed so he could get their inheritance, and he covered it all up. Wow. And we saw this young man grow up to be this demonic, despotic figure in the rise of Lex Luthor. That was a movie, and it was 30 years ago. But it was just called The Unauthorized Biography of Lex Luthor. Someone did a biopic about Lex Luthor. He had approved, and after the book came out, he had the author killed. And again, he made it all look like accidents. But that story is a movie in itself because the way it was done. It's just a straight up drama, but a horror film because we saw this little boy from the time Lex Luthor was a child with nothing but pure evil, and just wanted nothing but everything for himself. So if we're doing villain movies, just the rise of Lex Luthor from a kid to this, demonic, demagogic figure would be a fine movie to explore, and completely independent of Superman. The Unauthorized Biography of Lex Luthor had nothing to do with Superman. It was just kid growing to adulthood.
I'm pretty sure.
They have to take on more of a. No, it'll be super quick. Like when it does come to those, they have to take on a more horror route because of what happened with the movie The Joker. In them telling his story and how he became the way he was, it almost romanticized.
Yeah.
A lot of what made him a villain in a sense, and. I mean, his descent and his mental health descent, yes, a lot of people were able to relate to, and it sent a decent message, but not the one you were supposed to send.
Okay, you weren't supposed to get that. That wasn't the one you're supposed to get out of it.
So in telling any, like, villain stories, you almost do have to take the horror route to, once again, show that, yes, what they're doing is evil, and only they think it's right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I'm pretty sure I still have that one-shot Riddler that they did in the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
I forgot those existed. I'm pretty sure I still have it on my shelf somewhere.
Yeah. Well, any villain backstory would make for a good movie, and just like with DC, like any comic book, you have a lot of source material. So hopefully they'll take our advice if they're listening to this podcast.
Oh, they're listening to us incessantly.
Well, definitely. Do you have something else, Damien?
Well. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is your DC fandom wrap-up. But I did jot down something really quick because Craig had mentioned something. He had something about it for Mark Hamill.
I did. Thank you for that great segue, Damien. I'm so glad you married that man, Foxy. Great taste. My partner in Comic Book Gurus. My partner at Comic Book Gurus, Rockstar Rob, talked to me today, and he's got his ear to the ground of many different tree lengths and tree trunks, and he let me know.
No, that's for sure.
In The Mandalorian, we will see. You might have seen the memes a couple years ago, and people made some artist connections, and the dream has become a reality. Sebastian Stan will be playing Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. Because The Mandalorian takes place between after Jedi and before the current crop of Star Wars film. But Sebastian Stan will be playing the role of Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill may also have a role in there. I think the original idea was to use the de-aging technique that we've seen in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and in Civil War with Robert Downey Jr. and Ant-Man with Michael Douglas. But it was just too expensive a process, and to have Mark Hamill be in every episode. So it will be Sebastian. Yeah, so it'll be Sebastian Stan. And if you ever saw the pictures of Sebastian Stan and Mark Hamill side by side,
I can see him playing a young Luke Skywalker. Sure.
Look for the meme or look for the GIF of Sebastian
I do recall seeing it. I remember I had actually showed you doing. You're like, whoa, holy smokes! Like that guy does look like Mark Hamill. I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah. Well.
I can definitely.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah.
It looks like him in the midst of breaking and fixing his face.
It was right after the car accident.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That was the one. They did the Photoshop. They did the meme in the Photoshop. Yeah, but definitely, without a doubt. Yeah.
I haven't even. I forgot to finish The Mandalorian. I saw the first 3 episodes and dropped out, and I still haven't gone back yet.
Go back.
Don't tell me what to do.
Go back.
I'll go back to that when Foxy finishes Watchmen.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
That's a fair trade, Fox.
Look, I'm gonna be completely honest. I haven't started it yet.
I know you haven't.
He had went back to work.
Wow.
So
I know. Excuses.
No, this is actually actually quite sweet because we watch everything together. And during pandemic, it was like stay up late, do whatever, watch this, watch that, and he went back to work, and I don't feel like staying up if he.
Oh no, I'm kidding. I get it. Hold on a second.
And that was your lucky moment.
Let me, Danny. Why did we call it the Wokeman? Am I gonna have to get real fucking angry on this podcast now?
No.
Jesus Christ! I had to rewatch the first. Moving
on. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Somebody was commenting. It's not an easy start. It is a slow start, Foxy. So you're gonna have to do it when you have somebody else with the kids and not have to. It is a slow start. He had to. Purple Flavor Trash had to rewatch the first few episodes because they nodded off early through them initially. So.
I don't think Watchmen starts slow, but okay.
Well,
I can't watch anything. Just me here with the kids. I can't even watch a stupid reality show when it's just. I literally have to have Damien around to watch. Something.
Past the initial. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, but there was one time she had to go do the grocery shopping. I sat here to watch a B-rated werewolf movie that was no more than 80-some-odd minutes. She was out for a few hours. I was still trying to make my way through it. I think I finally finished it. I finished an 80-something minute movie in about 4 hours.
It has taken me oftentimes like 2 to 3 hours to watch a 30-minute episode of something on my DVR when I'm home alone with the kids.
Okay, let's address a few things. Let's address a few things about the Watchmen. The Watchmen has always been political. Don't like the guy that wrote it initially, but that's a different discussion for another time. Kind of an asshole.
Absolutely.
Well, not kind of. He is an asshole. But
he is.
What we have to starting off slow is the incorrect words I would use for that first episode, actually, and I will correct that because it doesn't start off slow. It starts with a big old slap in the goddamn face, and then you're on for the ride. It does slow a little bit because they're trying to tell so many stories of so many characters that a lot of people don't know about because, let's face it, other than reading the book, nobody saw that movie.
And the TV series takes place 30 years after the movie.
Yeah. But
30 years after the end of the graphic novel.
The graphic novel, yes. So it is a continuation. So you kind of, I would say it's one of those things that you do yourself a favor to watch the original or read the original and then watch the show, but you don't have to.
No.
But after that initial scene, that kind of goes.
Yeah.
It's very, here's this story, and here's this story, and here's this story, and then it goes.
All right, well, I just thought of something. I might have found a little hook that might get her a little bit more intrigued to give it a shot one night. The fashion designer from American Horror Story Hotel.
Yes.
And he's in it as the one with the hood and the noose.
I love him.
He's in it. The one from the Watchmen with the hood and the noose around his neck.
It's not a matter of you giving me incentive to watch it. We only have Fridays and Saturdays to watch something. Saturday nights you game, and I have no problem with that. Okay. Friday nights we are either too tired to watch something, or we leave on Metal Mania on MTV and we fall asleep.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, I figured I'd toss that out there, which obviously caught her attention really quick. He's what? Yeah, he's in it.
Wait, he's Hooded Justice?
Yeah.
I didn't give away anything there.
The guy from
We all know Hooded Justice is in it.
Because I saw like the quick clip, and yeah, like, you know, he's got the hood off and everything like that, and I was like, oh, hey, it's the dude from American Horror Story. She likes it.
That, man, it's heavy. It's so heavy. I'm talking to Purple Flavored Trash in the chat about it's fucking heavy. If you've ever dealt with any type of racism, Craig, you could, just slightly, you could relate to it. It's heavy it's heavy. It's emotionally heavy. I'll tell you that.
It's a lot to take in.
This is just me, a white boy over here saying that.
Yeah. Well, it's why I got 26 Emmy nominations, because you know, happy stuff doesn't sell like that. Speaking of watching things, and this is the last tidbit I have. You gave us breaking news at the beginning of the show, Damien. Before we went on the air, I was told of something. Speaking of watching things, here's another one to add to your list. Disney Plus, Black Widow, the other female-led superhero movie that was supposed to come out this year, other than Wonder Woman. Black Widow will indeed be coming to Disney Plus with a catch.
What?
With a catch. Not only will it be on Disney Plus, but for only $29.95 or $30, you can own Black Widow.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't need to own it.
For as long as you have Disney Plus. So if you let your Disney Plus membership lapse, then you will lose Black Widow.
Whoa, wait a minute. So wait a minute. It's only on Disney Plus, and you can't buy it digitally to keep unless you have Disney Plus.
Yep.
I'll be waiting.
There you
Sweet.
go.
Thank you very much, Disney.
Where's Black Widow?
I'll wait for the DVD. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Foxy, say that again.
No, it's just so unfortunate. We've all wanted a Black Widow movie since, like, she popped in on Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2.
And it's going straight to Disney Plus. That's so unfortunate.
We're getting Bill and Ted this weekend.
I mean, if we could just... That's true. That's true. If we just get Scarlett ScarJo to stop taking roles that aren't... Well, I'm not touching that one. Never mind. If she just be quiet a little bit. Just let's just be quiet a little bit, ScarJo. I'm just saying.
However,
yes.
In non-DC news, though, that did come out this week. Speaking of politically, engrossed, I guess, TV shows or whatever, the latest Penny Dreadful, City of Angels, did get the axe.
Yeah, Penny Dreadful did get canceled. Penny Dreadful got canceled.
It did. Wow.
One of the, I don't want to say complaints, but one of the biggest gripes that did come up about it was attaching the name Penny Dreadful to said series, because a lot of people did enjoy this series. They enjoyed the supernaturalism of it. They enjoyed, well, not really enjoyed the racial parts of it, but the story and where it all went. Just the unfortunate part was linking it to the original Penny Dreadful when they were so leagues apart in terms of story and aesthetic, and just it should have just been its own series without the attachment, but it did get the axe after its first official season.
Oh, also a big surprise I got the axe. Very popular Netflix series just caught the axe.
Oh, that's
Altered Carbon.
Yeah, that's
Altered Carbon as well. And apparently that was like a really big popular one, and that one just got the axe as well.
Yeah, that was a critical favorite. That one time, the one act that really got me, I know that, and this is a completely non-comic book related, but it has something to do with costumes. Foxy, the series is on Comedy Central for 6 years, and they just canceled it strictly because of the pandemic. Drunk History.
I used to love that show so much.
It won an Emmy. But it won the Emmy for Best Costume Design. They spent a buttload of money on those costumes. When they would do those historical reenactments with the drunk people talking over them, that cost some money. So there was some serious coin on that show, that Comedy Central show. It was one of the more expensive shows on any network.
I will say, I say the argument can be made that things are going on right now that are way beyond drunk history that we don't really need it anymore.
Yeah, I thought this
I
whole year has been drunk history.
Yeah.
I was actually going to go a little further and just state how isn't it interesting how things that we're supposed to know about are getting canceled amid all of this. How's that for woke?
What are you talking about? Throw it at me.
Daniel's confused.
Let's cancel anything drunk history that might have to tell us about what really went on in the world when everyone's trying to make up their own history.
Yeah.
Or, well, let's cancel the show that had to deal with, racism and Nazis in, California back in the day. No. We don't want to know about any of those historical points.
We should do a show about the Japanese internment camps after World War II and cancel it.
Yeah, or call it Baby George Takei. He was there.
Yeah, call Baby George Takei.
Oh my God.
Penny Dreadful, City of Angels. Oh, I haven't seen any of the Penny Dreadful stuff, but the more I hear about it, the more I think I should watch it.
Yeah, but Penny Dreadful, just like Altered Carbon, was a huge critical favorite, and people like us really, really liked it. Really, loved it.
Somebody explain. I have a legitimate question, not a gripe, because I don't know. What is the deal? What is the deal? Why is Netflix canceling highly rated, critically acclaimed shows all the time? I don't understand.
Because they want to put up more Tiger King, probably.
Oh, fuck Tiger King.
Actually,
Money.
well, this girl just got casted to play the wife. Kate McKinnon just got casted to play the wife on an NBC series.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Who? Where?
Kate McKinnon just got casted to play the
wife of
Carol-
Carol
King.
Baskins?
Carol Baskin.
Oh,
But
freaking-
see, the thing is, David, Tiger King is getting the Amy Fisher treatment. There's going to be like 2 or 3 different Tiger King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there were like 3 or 4 Amy Fisher specials.
There was one on
Yeah,
Fox. There was one on every network. There's one on NBC, ABC, and CBS.
exactly. You had to choose from all of them, and then so basically, say which one you chose to watch and why'd you pick the Alyssa Milano one. It's that easy.
over the Drew Barrymore one, yes.
Wait, Drew Barrymore is in it? I'll watch anything with Drew Barrymore in it.
Alyssa Milano.
It's
got Alyssa Milano. I believe her.
Drew Barrymore is my girl.
Me too. Do we have anything else?
That is the third roundup, man. That is. I mean, that was pretty heavy.
Unless there's any other tidbits that
Anybody got anything, go for it.
Anybody just wants to BS, or if anyone has questions in the chat before we all go.
Yeah, anybody got any questions, shoot them now, because the old timers are probably going to pass out shortly.
I will say for any comic book listeners out here, the 2 nerd herders, please pick up, just dropped this week. It was trending #1 worldwide yesterday for a short time. Batman 3 Jokers. It was drawn by the same artist who did Killing Joke, and it was written by of course, his name I forgot. I've been talking about it all day, but of course now I can't remember. But Batman 3 Jokers is
Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns, yes. Number.
Boy.
Yeah. Well, Batman 3 Jokers is for you, Damien. It just dropped this week. That's why Rob.
I wrote it down.
Okay, that's why Rob couldn't be here because he was out getting his one of the 7 variant copies of it.
I don't want ever excuses ever again from Rob.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I actually have a pretty cool Jeff Johns story though from a Comic-Con.
Go ahead.
I cosplayed, one Saturday I cosplayed as a Green Lantern and everything like that. And Jeff Johns, of course, was signing that day. And this is when, his whole rebirth of Green Lantern was going on, leading into, and it was like Green Lantern was like the hottest thing DC was doing because of him. So, of course, the line to meet Jeff Johns was like from where his table was to the other end. And I says, shit, I'm not going to be able to meet him. Forget it. I'm walking down, and I'm wearing my Green Lantern outfit, and everything like that. Who's coming down the aisle the opposite way? Jeff Johns. And he actually sees it and goes, hey, that's pretty cool. And I wound up getting my meet and greet and my photo for free in my Green Lantern suit.
You are the man. You're the man, Damien.
There's a bonus right there. That's a win.
It's on my Facebook, too. It's actually on my Facebook.
I have to look for that.
And everything.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and actually the pictures of the Green Lantern is actually pretty cool because the way I made it, the white part is actually a reflective sticker
Okay.
So on the symbol, whenever somebody took a picture and it flashed, it actually like
It
it
popped.
lit up. It popped with the flash. It was like, that was pretty cool.
Pop, pop,
But yes,
pop.
I got to meet Jeff Johnson. I got to meet Jeff Johnson free while everybody wasted their day waiting in line.
They idiots.
Just walk around. They got to walk around too.
Yeah, they gotta
Well,
eat.
her brother, like passed by Stan Lee that way and Seth Green in that same con. He met Stan Lee and Seth Green at the same con just from walking around.
I walked into Wizard World with Michael guy plays Yondu on and
Michael Rooker.
I
Michael
walked
Rooker.
in with Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker was walking to his booth, walked right through the convention center with no one around. No one, just had the little pipe, hat on. I just walked right in next to him, and I looked at him and I said, "You ready to have some fun, Mike?" And he looked at me and went, "Always." And
Michael
walked in.
Rooker, who is in the Suicide Squad.
Yes, another one.
That's
Everybody
because-
walks past people and talks to them. I walk past celebrities. I say nothing.
Exactly. That's
She
the way they like
phrases-
it.
I can't.
Yeah, she had the bassist for Metallica, right?
No, the guitarist.
The
Kurt
guitarist.
Cobain.
Metallica. I used to work at the Sony building.
I
So
was
this is,
just thinking about this yesterday.
again, sporadic stories. I'm sorry, but they're worth mentioning because again, she freezes in front of celebrities like no tomorrow.
I do.
So I used to work at the Sony building on 55th and Madison Avenue when it was there, and it was the day of the MTV Movie Award,
Music Awards.
the Music Awards at Radio City Music Hall when they used to do them there. So she comes to meet me, and I'm looking, and I'm like, isn't that? And she
No,
goes,
I said it.
Yeah.
I was looking at this guy was walking towards us. I'm like, is that Kirk Hammett of Metallica?
and I went, yes.
And he's like walking, and I'm just staring and
But
staring.
the best part is, he created a window for her to say hi or
I think
something.
he heard me.
Because so he's walking by himself, no crew, no nothing, and he sees her staring and kind of mouth, and he literally looks at her, smiles, says hello and everything, and you know what she does?
wonderful.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yeah. I think it was like he was at the corner and just kept walking. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you feel good, Foxy, because I have a similar story.
Thank you for finishing that sentence.
Yes. I used to work at WHYY Channel 12 in Philly, the public radio, public TV, public broadcasting system. So we also do the NPR show Fresh Air out of that same building. So celebrities would drop by all the time. Because of the unwritten rule in men's rooms, this is what happened to me. I walk into the men's room. I just need to wash my hands. I see a man at the urinal doing his business. I'm washing my hands. The person that was at the urinal walks up next to me, and I got my head down. Don't make eye contact in the men's room. Unwritten law. Just one thing you don't do. The person next to me looks in the mirror, looks at me, and doesn't say anything. And I'm guessing he wants to know if I recognize him or anything, but I don't know because I got my head down. I'm washing my hands. I'm doing my business because you don't make eye contact in the men's room. I walk out first, and I see my coworker David, and I say, "Hey, David." The person that was in the men's room with me walks out the other way and goes the opposite direction. And David's mouth is wide open. I said, "What's wrong, David?" He goes, "You were in the bathroom with David Duchovny?" I guess I was, but you don't make eye contact in the men's room, so I did the exact same thing you did, Foxy. Had I looked up, I probably would have said nothing and just, but
Wait a
yeah, so I
minute,
should have.
You're not supposed to make eye contact in the men's room?
No.
Oops. Hey, what's up? Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? How's it hanging?
How's it
See
hanging?
what I did there?
Never mind. I'm going to leave that one alone.
And speaking of leaving it alone, do we have any questions from our nerd them?
I had a Damien's going to yell at me, but I had a
Oh,
counterpoint that I wanted to bring up about Harley Quinn and breaking the fourth wall.
Okay.
And this is from one of our and I know you're the other Deadpool, so don't yell at any of us. So apparently she has broken the fourth wall in several episodes and comic books. She just hasn't been doing it. I guess she's been around this long. When did Deadpool come out first?
In 1991,
God damn-
1991, but he
Jesus
wasn't fully like.
he wasn't
Character
Deadpool till like
Guy, get the f-
2000.
You guys were like 91. Jesus.
And Harley was well after because she was created specifically for
the animated series.
Yeah, she came from the anime series. She done it a bunch of times on the animated series and on a bunch of comics, so it is not new to Harley. But
Nah.
Deadpool's more known for it. I just wanted to throw that in there, but without getting my head blown off by both sides, and not in a good way.
Well, I think more so it's more so also in the way they were doing it in that movie because it was like literally like you said, like when you saw a scene you're like, wow, that's Deadpool right there. Like it didn't come off as her. It came off as we're gonna rip off Deadpool. That's what it came off as.
I cannot comment enough about it because I don't know if the cocaine thing is also a Harley thing because I've read none of her comic books.
So I can't really say. I stopped with Gotham City Sirens, so I can't even base an opinion on what they've done with Harley.
Yeah, this is like before they've like really like taken her all over the place.
I think she has become I think she's become Deadpool for DC, and that's why they were able to write it in without we're ripping off Deadpool. I think it's kind of her thing now, based on everything I'm reading here in the chat. And go ahead, Craig.
Had Birds of Prey not been a voiceover, had not been Harley narrating, this comparison to Deadpool would not even exist.
That's true.
That's where the similarity
I'll give you that one.
from.
That's all right.
Had it just been a straight film, she would not have had the Deadpool the Deadpool comparison.
May I say that I enjoyed both just the same, and I can't wait for more just the same. And I think Margot Robbie is fucking great as Harley, just as much as she's Deadpool. No, sorry, oops. She's Harley. She's Harley Quinn as much as Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. There is nobody else now. That's it.
I agree.
Oh, shut up. Take over the show, please.
Well, there's not much else to take over. Again, that's what I said. If anybody's got any comments or questions, now's the time.
That was it. I went through the chat. I think we're good.
All right.
So do your outro, and I'll just go when I'm called until I'm called.
Okay, outros. So let's see. First, okay, you can find me at Instagram and Twitter at Viva Foxy Foxy. That is FOXY, FOXXY, and Facebook.com/Foxy Foxy, spelled the same way. You can find him.
You can find me on Instagram and YouTube, dvargas802. I'm also on Facebook. Yeah, pretty much that's it.
And you can follow all of these things as well as little nerd tidbits, replays of this, as well as live every Wednesday, last Wednesday of the month on Facebook.com/Nerdherders Radio. Craig, you go.
Me? I go. You can find me, Craig Ligon, CraigLiGeons, on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. If you like this nerd stuff that we've been talking about ad nauseum for 3 hours, you can also go to my other page, Comic Book Gurus Podcast, my Facebook page. Give us a like if you haven't already. And for old, namely vintage episodes of Comic Book Gurus Podcast, you can find those on WMMR.com or wherever podcasts are sold for free on the internet.
You're going to throw it to me and have to...
And finally, the man behind the curtain, the one who made all of us possible, the only, whose dad is having a happy 60th birthday right now, Mr. Dan Law Calachico.
6'6". He's 1 6 away from the devil. And he doesn't look a day older, except for the stroke. You can follow me on... He's fine! He's goddamn fine! When your old man is talking to you about his birthday, he takes you into the bathroom with you, he's fucking fine. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and my DMs at DanLaw83. With that being said, hey, Craig, please follow suit. We can do this smoothly. You my nerd herder.
I'm your nerd herder.
Yeah, mine.
You're my nerd herder.
Mine.
Yeah, you're my nerd herder.
Mine. Foxy, you're my nerd herder.
My nerd herder.
Damien. You're my nerd herder.
Dan,
Yeah.
you're my nerd herder, man.
Oh, thanks. Good night, everybody. Let's get the hell out of here.
We love you.
You're my nerd herder.